Hey, welcome to ChaseForeclosure.com. I'm Christian Chase with Chase Real Estate. What I would like to do is show you exactly when you sign up to get our foreclosure hot list, what comes over. Every single property that is going to come over to you has had a lot of research done on these properties, and they're texted over to you directly as we get the properties, and they're packaged in a neat, tidy format. And I'm going to go through and show you exactly all the data that comes over when we send over one of these foreclosure hot list properties. Now, one thing is sometimes they're foreclosures, sometimes they're estate sales, sometimes they're distressed, regular seller. So there's so many different scenarios. They could be foreclosures, they could be distressed sales. But the big thing is that they're always going to be under market real estate. So the properties that you get, we've looked at them, we've done a lot of data, and I'm going to show you exactly what's involved in that. So you can take a quick little peek here. There's a property. This is when we send over a particular property, they're going to look the same every single time, just different property address and photos. But it'll come over via text. And when it does come over, the first thing that you're going to see is that we're going to have around 60 to 70 photos of the property. You can easily just start scrolling in. They're going to be very detailed photos. And as we go through this particular property, I'm not going to go through every single photo, but it'll definitely help with being able to visualize what the property is that you're looking at. And one thing that we've even taken it a level further is if you scroll down, we have a 360 tour of the property. So we have an exterior of the house. We also have inside garages, inside the living room and the kitchen, and you can scroll down on the floor and go up to the ceiling. And one of the things I would say is when you're looking at this, it's sometimes best to look at it on a laptop or on a desktop. I mean, you can absolutely look at it on a mobile device, but I would say you can make this screen huge and take a quick peek at the property. And so that's something that you would be able to easily see everything in this particular house and really good detail. So that's very helpful. One of the next parts is we get to the top here, there's two different sections of financials for flip and financials for rent. Under financials for flip, you're going to have the actual purchase price. This is exactly what you can buy the property for. That includes our realtor commissions that we earn. That's going to have your closing costs. Everything is kind of factored into this purchase price here. The renovation budget, that is coming over directly from one of our renovation teams. They've gone out to the property and put together a renovation scope, and that is what it's going to cost to renovate the property. And I'll go into a little bit more of that in detail in just a second. We have property taxes that are here. After rehab value, what is the property really worth? All fixed up, cleaned up after the renovation is completed. And then what is your estimated profit on the property? What would it look like after you sold the house? What should your projected profit be? Now, I just want you to keep in mind, this number here, the $69,635, is based on a cash purchase. So if you're an investor and you are going to be financing a property, no problem with that. You can always talk to the lender and say, here's all the details on the property. What would my profit be after I pay any of my lender charges? And so like on a property like this, I would say, okay, the property profit is $69,000. If you're going to be financing the property with interest and points and etc., that's probably going to go down to around $55,000 if you're financing it. If you're paying cash, this is the projected profit on the property. Now, there's a couple other items here as well. Again, we have the purchase price up at the top, bedrooms, baths, square footage of the property, comedy car garage, does it have a basement? You have Google Street View, just a quick little view of what the neighborhood looks like. There's another button called Comps. Once you click on Comps, that's going to take you over to the analysis that we did on the property. It'll give you a map, and then it's going to give you all of the comparables that we're using. So that's really, really helpful for you as an investor to be able to go, okay, hey, this home is worth 465. Let me look at the comps that are up here. Another thing that's really nice is we already have the renovation scope. So you remember this $80,000 renovation budget, that came from a scope. If you were to click on Rehab Scope, that's going to open up and that is going to show you exactly what the renovation team is going to be doing inside the property. And it goes room by room, and it's a total amount for the bid to do the renovation on that particular property. Another thing that's kind of nice is we have market stats. If you were to click on this particular button, this is going to take you to an outside website, and it's going to take you to where the property is located, Oak Lawn, and it's also going to give you a market action index. And this particular area, Oak Lawn, is in what they call a slight seller's advantage. Anything that's below this line 30 here would be a buyer's market. Anything above this line here at 30 becomes a seller's advantage. And what's really nice is down here when you get to some more charts, there's the median list price for the area, average days on market, you can kind of hover over. This is all real-time stuff. You can check out the inventory in the area. How does it look with the number of homes? So a ton of data is being shown there. And then we also have neighborhood. So if you're not familiar with Oak Lawn, what is Oak Lawn rated as? Well, Oak Lawn is rated as a B+. And so that's based on schools and housing and jobs and diversity and etc. And so you'll see a ranking there for each individual area. Below that, we have the financials for rent. So if you're going to be renting out the property, how much does the property rent for on a monthly basis? How much is the rental scope to get it into rentable condition, which is typically less than the renovation budget to flip the property, okay? Then we also say what is the return on investment based on the money invested in it, and what would your cash flow be? So that's both some helpful numbers there. Then if it's a property that you're interested in, you're like, hey, this is one that I want. Since a lot of our clients live out of state or out of country, they're not physically seeing houses. They're making decisions within a matter of an hour or two after they see the property come over. All you need to do is click this button, Purchase Property. It's going to take you down to the bottom here where Christy's at. You'll fill in your name, your email address, your phone number, and you'll put in the purchase price. Again, I want to stress, this is the purchase price, so it's non-negotiable. So if you don't like the price of $288,914, you need to buy it for $275. Just pass on that property. We'll have another one tomorrow, but that is the purchase price. And then you'll fill in your details here, click submit, and that gets sent over to Christy, and then she is able to be able to send over the contract and all the formal details about that particular property. So it really is everything, and every property comes over the exact same way if it's a foreclosure hot list property. We're doing a lot of research. So the day that we are alerted to a property, a bank contacts us, a real estate agent selling an estate sale, whatever it may be, well, within 24 hours, we're going to get that full set of photos that you just saw. We're going to get a 360 tour on the property. I'm going to run all the comps on the property to find out what that property is really worth. And then I'm going to package everything up. If the numbers all look right, everything checks out, that's when it gets posted onto one of these private web pages. And then we are sharing those properties with you via text. A link essentially is going to come over, and now you have everything in your hands to make a decision. Is this a property that you would like or not? So we made it very, very easy, streamlined. And again, with renovation end of things, you're not obligated to use the renovation contractors. They're just people that we know, and if you want to use them, you can. If you have your own rehab team, go right ahead and have your own rehab team do the work. So you've got lots of options. But what we want to do is package everything in a nice, tidy format with all the details that you need to make a decision Is this going to be a good investment? Thanks.